Today, I'm here with an interesting topic, flying cars. Something we have been watching in sci-fi movies for quite some time. And I'm here with one good news and one bad news on this topic. The good news is flying cars are already here. And the bad news is flying cars may never become a reality. Confused? Let's jump right in. So before we talk about flying cars, let us define what a flying car is, because the answer to whether we have flying cars or not depends upon how we define a flying car. If you define a flying car as a car-like structure that can carry a certain number of passengers and it can fly in our airways, then we absolutely have flying cars today. In fact, we have been having flying cars in our airways for quite some time, almost since 1939. We just call it a helicopter. In fact, we have been having flying buses too. We call it an airplane. So, cars have been flying for quite some time and they will continue to fly in our airways. Of course, the technology of the flying cars is changing just like technology is changing everywhere else. Similar to cars that we drive on our roadways, the helicopters are becoming electric too. And they are moving towards being autonomous. We just call them drones. And today, there are flying taxis in places like Dubai, and they are basically flying drones. They carry passengers, just like a car carries passengers. So, again, whether you call them a drone, you call them a helicopter, they are flying cars. But however, if you define a flying car as a car that you can drive on your roadways, as well as you can fly when you want, that particular structure may not be a reality. Again, I cannot say anything for sure, but it is very tough to make a case for a car that you can drive as well as you can fly, because there are a number of complications, but one of them is, besides getting a driver's permit, you should also be getting a flying permit, which is not easy. Everybody has to learn how to fly. Now imagine all these cars, airways over our head. It's not a pretty scene to imagine, but also imagine controlling all the traffic, especially our airways filled with crazy drivers like myself. So that is going to be a nightmare scenario. Let's say we make them autonomous. Okay, then you take the driver part out of it. But still, making a car that you can drive as well as fly, these are two different technologies, and it's very tough to make a case to be able to make a hybrid structure like that, because you might as well just make a flying car instead of flying and driving. I mean, even if there is no traffic, if you have a flying car, why do you want to drive it other than, maybe having some fun, or maybe some other case can be made for a hybrid structure like that. But again, is it worth the business value that you get out of it? So bottom line, in my opinion, a car you can drive as well as you can fly, that may never be a reality. But if you purely look at flying cars, they exist today, they have been in existence for quite some time, and they will continue to exist. Thanks for watching.